You're listening to the Claret and Big Blue podcast on the Pass the Gravy Podcast Network.
Who do you think you are? I am!
Goat's vagina, that thing was huge.
Don't give
You
him
said
any
that,
cake.
not me.
Just come up, taken away by Wicks.
Oh, it's glorious!
Play action. Over the middle. Touchdown, Giants.
Give me a hell yeah.
And we are live.
We'll do it live!
Welcome everyone to Claret and Big Blue, probably the only podcast on the internet dedicated to West Ham United and the New York Giants. That's right, football and football, balls for everyone's taste. I am Mike Fish and I am joined as always by my main man, Alex Middleton. Alex, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. We like the, is it the part? No, what was it? What is that TV show? The Partridge, whatever, like.
I don't know. You just threw out that. That's basically every
It's like
TV
an old
show.
TV
You didn't
show.
specify it at all.
No, I didn't. I had it in my head and I can't remember the name. But whatever.
You know
We're
that
joined
show.
by
People watched it.
You remember that show, right? That was on TV once. But we're joined by some special guests to talk about Euros final because I need all the support that I can get to get me through these hard times. We're joined from On the Stoop, Lolo and Mark. How you doing, fellas?
What's doing good.
man?
I tell you, that intro goes through like this wave of emotions of music. It's kind of dance clubby, and then it goes into like this quasi Benny Hill hit thing, and all of a sudden you're kind of skanking, and then you hear the voice of Joe Buck, which is like the last thing I expect to hear. Is that Joe Buck? I don't know.
Probably.
I
Is it?
heard Lanzini in there as well, so
Yeah, that was the Tottenham goal.
Yeah, I don't think that was the voice of
my
Arlo White, who's
favorite
our
goal
favorite.
of the season, by the way, my favorite goal of the season was from a West Ham player. Was Lanzini
Dude,
against
yeah.
against fucking Tottenham.
That was the call. That was the call of that goal.
Loved it.
That was definitely the best West Ham goal. I would say.
Yeah.
I would say, but I'm glad that
So,
somebody
guys-
else appreciates it.
Can I just, beforehand, for fans of our show, you may be going like, why is Lolo doing his sexy voice? Well, I'm in Spain right now. I see the beautiful sunshine outside Mike's window. You see the darkness back here. It's midnight. My daughter just got in bed because she's still on New York time. So
Oh, wow.
This is about as loud as Lolo can get today.
He's going to speak in his Lolo voice.
My Lolo voice.
Lolo.
But thank you guys so much for having us on. And I do think you are the only Giants and West Ham. Like, talk about niche. You
Yeah, we
guys-
found it.
You guys found it.
Well, we kind of figured that we wanted to be the best at something, so the easiest way to be the best at something is to be the only thing at it.
No competition.
Exactly.
That's the exact opposite of our thing. We were like, you know what? We're gonna cover everything. We're gonna cover
Sleep and wives be damned.
We're gonna cover every single Premier League team in the world. And why not the Euros? Fuck it.
Well, let's talk about other niche things. There's another podcast, and I'll give a shout out to them. It's called The Real Football Fans of New Jersey, and their podcast is about the New York Giants and the TV show Real Housewives of New Jersey.
I mean, that's a pretty
Okay.
solid combo.
It's a pretty solid
Okay.
combo. So
That's
maybe we should
do
like
it.
do a collaboration with them and make it like the most niche podcast in the world.
yo, what's going on, Mr. Tom? Part of the
Tom.
Stoop crew right here. And you know
nice.
what? I
Hey,
know
how
for
you
a
feeling,
fact
Mr. Tom?
He's
Hope
been
you're
sick
feeling
as
well.
a dog. He's been sick as a dog, man, but he chimes in every
That's
episode, so I'm glad to see he came over here.
Well,
Absolutely.
And I
Get
know
better,
also
buddy.
he could give a shit about either of the teams y'all support or the teams me and Mark support. He's a Leeds United fan.
Or this way.
I was
you know,
saying,
just-
he keeps it close to his chest. You have to ask him a lot of questions about who he supports. He doesn't like to brag about his Leeds support.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I mean, before we get in, because I guess we have to rip the Band-Aid off eventually and talk about Sunday's game. Anyone want to talk about anything other than that so we can delay, like, how's Spain, how's Brooklyn?
Well, once I got to Spain, so once again, the fucking Spanish national team did it to me again. During the World Cup, I had my trip
to Spain. I come here every summer. I had it planned out. We were going to be here for the semifinals, the quarterfinals, semifinal, and finals of the World Cup. And we're right by Portugal. And Spain and Portugal both were out in the group stage. So this year, I'm going, here we go again. I'm going to be there for the semifinal. No, just for the final.
The final.
Just for the final. And Spain has a much worse team, I thought. But they just kept kind of getting through and getting through and getting through. And then they did it to me again on fucking penalties. And so here I am trying to watch football. And like my family schedules a barbecue for during the like we had to go, me and my brother-in-law Lawler had to go like sneak off and watch the final. Because like once Spain is out, they could give a shit.
I was going to say, it was in that no one gives a shit.
It sounds like you've done something illicit. We had to sneak out away from our wives.
Well, it was more like from watching the kids. Because our wives
right.
talking. Our wives are sisters, so.
I mean, you could argue before we get that. We'll get into the team of the tournament, but I think that game in particular, Italy versus Spain, you could argue within that game they were the better side, and they could very well been in the final.
Absolutely.
No,
if
that'd have been a good
they
show.
had anyone who could score a goal with any sort of consistency, any sort of striker.
They were like,
Yeah,
we're just
they-
going to do it in 2 games real quick. And
We just can't. Yeah, they spent all their credits early on.
The only team to field 11 midfielders, including Unai Simon, the keeper, who likes to dance around and play around with his feet. Like, no, you're the fucking keeper. Get the ball and get rid of it. Pass it on. And he's like doing shit. And he got caught once with a back pass for a goal.
Yeah, from Podri.
That's pretty
When you have to
embarrassing.
rely on Morata, that's never a good thing.
No, when Morata's your only hope. I mean, my 10-year-old nephew is over here living in Spain, and he's like, I think I've decided I want to be a keeper. And I'm like, dude, be a striker. You could probably start for the World Cup.
Tomorrow.
Just call yourself a striker, and you might get the call up.
You'll be the only one at the tryouts.
Clearly, there's nobody else.
Yeah.
All right, before we get on, just an update. Tom's he's feeling a lot better. Good on him.
Good. Good to hear, Mr. Tom.
So the final. Okay, so before we get in,
Can we talk about how cool the Mario guy was when his girlfriend was also dressed up as the pizza? That was cool.
That was
I
Wait,
did see that. That was pretty good.
I missed that. When did that happen?
He was like, we're going as fucking Italians. Babe, we only have a pizza costume, and I call Mario. So here, throw this on. And yeah, she looked thrilled about it, but she was.
She
a good
looked
sport,
incredibly warm. That's what she wore. She just looked like,
out the
I'm
oven.
melting underneath this thing, for God's
She was
sakes.
fresh
How
out the
dare
oven.
you?
you know
Wait,
what
like,
we
can I not be
didn't see?
Princess Peach? No, you're going as a pizza. I've already got the costume.
Or what we didn't see was the argument beforehand when he had laid out a Luigi costume and a mustache and shit, and she's like,
No.
I said pizza and calzones, you asshole. And maybe that's why she wasn't happy.
Right.
He's like, babe, they're not going to know if it's a calzone or what. They might think it's an empanada. We have to really nail this. He's like, well, the only other thing we have is a pizza costume, so you're going as that.
Yeah. And then, like Mr. Tom says, he knew it was going all wrong when I laughed at the lady, because 2 minutes in, the pizza's melting. Like, she's crying. She's like crying. And I was like, that's not good.
No, not at all.
good.
I just love it when people had painted their prospective flags on their faces and it didn't go so well, and they just like rubbed it down. They just looked like a really like a drag queen at like 6 o'clock in the morning.
I did see the guy with where he dyed his beard.
Yeah.
Oh,
St. George's Cross?
yeah.
How depressing must that have been washing that out later?
Oh, it's still there. He hasn't been able to wash it out. It's got to grow out.
Like his wife's like, "Do you want me to help him? Leave me alone! I need to be alone right now."
Throughout the tournament, though, it made me just realize how like much easier it is for face painting if you have like a European flag, because like the American flag, you get the stars, you gotta do like the whole face at that point. Like England, boom, done.
Yeah,
Finish it. Germany, done. Italy, France, done. Like,
Yeah,
you just
for the
three-finger
US,
that. It's simple.
The U.S., you got to be careful not to look like Puerto Rico.
Right?
Or offend
Like,
people.
I got to mark it out where my stars are going.
They're like, you didn't put all 13 stripes. There were 13 goddamn colonies. I'm like, how do you know that much? But you don't know. Never mind.
I know
That's
what
not
it
really
is.
good.
That's a different show.
Yeah, maybe that's where it all came. Like this guy wanted, I want a flag painted. Do you charge by the color or just the flag? Just the flag. Fuck it then. I want 13 stripes. I want 50 stars. Oh, fuck you.
That's,
Dude, you're
and
gonna
they're
need more face.
throwaway stars. They're like, what are we doing with those stars over there? Give me 50 of them.
I'll take them all.
Betsy, sew it up.
50, but we don't have that many states. Grab that island over there.
Throw them in the drawer. We'll figure it out.
What's that big one that can see Russia? We'll take that one. Anyway,
Welcome to American history with.
guys, I think we've stalled long enough.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get.
think
Okay,
Mike-
Mike, just go.
okay, like Lola, we use at the barbecue sneaking away. I had to go to a friend of mine's 4th birthday party. So the 4-year-old was his son. My buddy wasn't the 4-year-old.
Oh.
That'd have been weird.
That was kind of.
So I
Worried.
so I had to escape from that, and I was saying to someone there when I was escaping, I was like, do you know what? 2 weeks ago when we was previewing the quarterfinals, I was like, okay, I think England are going to make it to the final, play Italy, and then Italy is going to destroy us 4-0. So at least they didn't do that. But I did remember saying, I hope it happens because I'd much rather, if England lose, that they get destroyed rather than it being a close game.
Yeah, those are the ones that are...
And then I said, I put it out into the universe like an idiot. I said, or we lose on penalties. And then it happened. But what? Okay, you guys, as the non-biased opinion. See, this is how I saw the game. Maybe you saw it different. But was it me or was England pretty much just dominating that game for the first 35, 40 minutes? It was all England, right? I'm not mad.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I think, and a lot of people have agreed with us. You know, the worst thing that could happen was that goal coming so early. You know, and it just allowed, just was like, that changes the game plan, guys. This is what we're gonna do. No one can get past our defense. We're just gonna sit back, and the attack just stopped.
I was screaming in the first half. You need another goal. You need another goal. Do not go into halftime. Halftime 1-0 when scoring in the second minute is basically 0-0.
Yeah, exactly.
They've won just as much of the first half as you did. You just got that goal. But listen, the entire tournament for England minus Ukraine.
Minus
and-
Scotland.
No, minus the Ukraine and a bit of the Germany. Germany was a bit back and forth, but all the rest of the matches for England were 20 minutes of dominance. Look how many times they hit the post in every single first 20 minutes of their first 3 matches. In those first 20 minutes, they hit the post and it didn't go in. They had to score later. And the goal kind of came out of nowhere for all 3 of those. Well, actually, for Scotland, they didn't. Was it 1-1 Scotland? No, 0-0. 0-0. So, but they hit the post in the first 20 minutes. So that's exactly what happened. And knowing that, I'm screaming at them, going, "Don't let Italy go in. Don't let Mancini go in and talk to them."
Especially since they're 37, 38 games unbeaten. All they need
Yeah,
is one
something like that.
inspirational.
And all they need
team
is
talk.
one goal. All they need is one at that point. I'm sitting there thinking, this game needs to be 6-0 by halftime in order to keep these Italians down. Like, don't let Mancini go in there and say, because he's going to say the right thing and Southgate is clearly going to say the wrong thing. And that's exactly what happened. And then they come out and they look like 2 vastly different teams that were out in the first half.
Dude, Pickford made a couple of saves there, or England would have been out of that quick. Like, Pickford really kept England in that game. There could have been 2-1 easily. There wouldn't have even been extra time if it wasn't for him. And he's kind of backstopped him that whole tournament. But Yeah, he really kept them in there when
I mean-
it kind of felt like their midfield was slowing down. That was just kind of at midfield or the opposite side of there, and they were struggling that whole time. Yeah.
And
Yeah, I mean,
Tom says like, yeah, Italy won the midfield battle. It did look like from the second half, it just felt like almost like a West Ham team from 2 years ago, where we had 10
Yeah.
players behind the ball and then one guy up front, and it was like, we hope we'll get the ball, and then maybe we can get it to him, and hope that it was never
Listen,
going to happen. We was on the
with
back
the-
foot.
with the likes of Declan Rice and Calvin Phillips, both technically CDMs, defensive midfielders, but they're both these pivots. They're both brilliant at what they do. I think they are, those two and Conte, possibly the three best leaders on the pitch, the three most integral to their team. The reason they won the midfield battle in the first half was because they were taking turns flying up and pressing, and Italy didn't know who to cover, who to deal with, because they were going boom, boom, allowing Shaw all the space in the world, and then even Trippier up the other side. And so it was working brilliantly. You change that, all of a sudden you have Shaw, Kyle Walker, and Trippier playing back. That's not their strengths. Kyle Walker, the only reason to have him on the pitch is for his speed and his physicality
size.
Right,
and
yeah.
his size. Sitting back, what the fuck is he doing back there? Trippier, the best thing about Trippier is his crossing. What is he doing? Now you have both Calvin Phillips and Declan Rice not allowed past the half, the circle. And so why invite all this pressure? And then that brings Kane deeper. That brings Sterling deeper. Now everybody's deeper. For what? For
Yeah, and the
what?
Italians just like the dance says, England's hanging back. Let's go at them.
Yeah.
And that's what
They're
happened
gonna
in
give
the
us
second
space.
half.
It was a shark smelling
Chiellini
water,
can-
basically.
Chiellini
They're just
can
smart
catch
sharks
Kane.
smelling blood. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. They,
You know, a lot of people were criticizing the Declan Rice being taken off, but as much of running around as he was doing, he was gassed. He was walking off the pitch. I thought his legs were just going to turn into noodles or something.
it
Well,
was just
it's
the
like I said, I think
oddest.
it's like the halftime talk was almost, let's go through all of the great things that are working for us. Okay, now stop that. Don't
Cut
do
it
that.
out. Yeah.
It's like,
Anyone for a cup of tea while we wait?
No, it
but
was
yeah,
it was
like I say, our
guys,
wingbacks became fullbacks.
and now you're playing with a true back five, like not a back five that gives you 3 and 2 flying wingers, an actual back five of 5 defenders who your wingers, your left back and your right back are more attacking backs, whatever you call them. I'm losing my words now. But like I said, Trippier and Kyle Walker their strengths are going forward. It's like all season when Trent Alexander-Arnold had to defend for Liverpool. He's shit at defending. He's shit at defending. But he was one of the best defenders in the league last year or the year before. Why? Because he had 22 assists as a defender. So like, well,
I mean, the worst one was when I saw, like, not just defending a set piece, which I would understand, but it was just in open play. I think Italy had the ball going down, I think maybe on the right side, doesn't matter. But the guy who came back to take the ball off him was Harry Kane. Like, why are you defending?
Yeah.
What the hell are you doing there? Get back up your
Yeah.
own end. Like, it was so defensive. It
So
seemed
defensive,
like,
it was offensive.
so
yeah,
defensive.
it seemed like they were
with
playing
such
for
an attacking
penalties
team.
from half time almost. It was, I don't know. But then the subs, do you think, okay, so we had the 2 central defenders. I think one of them needed to come off to which I thought to inspire some kind of attacking mindset. But then, do you think Jordan Henderson? I mean, I think I said on your live stream after the final where I was like saying I think Jordan Henderson is one of the unsung heroes of the tournament in that he didn't play much and he didn't give much for Jazz, but he was always brought on to do a job and he did it. He always. So I thought, but again, do you think that was the spot for him do you think maybe they could have switched up the position, the formation, and maybe instead of just have one central midfielder and then bring on a Grealish or a Sancho just to kind of add to the attacking flair in that sense?
I can tell you exactly what I think about Jordan Henderson. Well, maybe not exactly what I think about Jordan Henderson, but in this match,
It's fine. You can say what you want. Your daughter's asleep.
That's true.
So you want to
Good
hear
point,
that.
Mike.
Jordan Henderson to me is actually somebody that you want if you're going to penalties. He's somebody that you want on the pitch if you're going to extra time because he's a captain, he's a leader of a very strong team. He is, to me, he's the heart and soul of Liverpool. When he's missing, a lot is missing for Liverpool. And I guess Declan Rice was more tired than I expected. I didn't expect Declan Rice to get tired, just like I don't expect Calvin Phillips to get tired. But to me, if you're playing with all those defenders, put Jordan Henderson on for Kyle Walker or Luke Shaw, because you have them both over here. I think they're on the left. So now make it a back four, put Jordan Henderson there, and now allow Calvin Phillips and Declan Rice a bit more freedom. You know, allow them stop, because the problem is they took Declan Rice off and put Jordan Henderson on, and said do exactly what Declan Rice was doing, which was fucking nothing, which was standing behind
Passing
the
it
ball.
backwards, yeah.
Just stay back there.
So if you're going to put Jordan Henderson on, go, Jordan, I need you to get forward. I need you to get forward. But no, it was a like for like and nothing changed. So to me, they needed to change it up. They needed something to be different. So it's either don't bring Jordan Henderson on, bring on a more attacking player, or switch him out for this extra defender, because Jordan Henderson does the dirty work. Jordan Henderson had to defend most of the year for Liverpool because they were so weak in the back when he wasn't hurt. But does that make sense, what I'm saying? Do you guys...
No, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, let's bring so obviously Tom, apparently Lee Dixon said on commentary that Phillips looked tired. Apparently Tom didn't agree with that necessarily.
Calvin Phillips was not tired.
And Henderson demanded to take a penalty in friendly against Romania and missed. There was no way Southgate was leaving him on the field.
Fuck that. Harry Kane demanded to take a penalty against Switzerland, and he missed.
He's like, cap.
Wait, you cut out
You
there.
let the captain do that.
I know.
Yeah,
But you let the captain
That
do that,
is-
though.
That's the reason why, you know, he's
I'm
the
sorry,
captain.
you miss a penalty, you don't get to take one.
He was
Fair.
happy to that.
No,
Who was that?
that's fair.
Who was that? To keep it maybe on topic of the podcast, who was that Aston Villa player that did the terrible chip penalty? He's never going to take another penalty again. What was his name?
No, that wasn't Aston Villa, was it?
Aston Villa against West Ham. Was it not? No,
can't
Fulham.
remember
Fulham.
who it was.
Fulham.
Fulham. It was
Fulham, sorry.
Lookman.
Lookman, there we go. And also to round out comment, Mark's hat looks better than Lolo's apparently.
It's a preference thing.
It's a thing.
You got options, guys.
You got
That's it.
options.
We have options.
And we have a
do you-
new one coming out as well.
I can't wait for that.
Our away kit.
Lookman was
Ooh.
Fulham, yes, Tom. Sorry, I got it wrong. I don't
Just
know
in
why I
case
said
you
Villa.
didn't see these, and if you are a member of the Stoop Crew, you get your little Stoop Crew 2021 coming at you.
Well, that's a free gift when you're a member of the Stoop Crew.
Not a chance, free.
No.
Pay
We had to
$3.99
pay for ours.
You pay $3.99 and get a $30 hat. No. Maybe Mr. Tom, because he's been a member for months and months. But no, even, I mean, Lawler had to pay for his. He's my brother-in-law, and he's on the show all the time.
So if you become a member, you get the opportunity to pay for the hat.
You get a discount.
There you
get
go.
a
We'll
50%
give
discount.
it's roughly 15% if you become a Stoop Crew member.
Yeah, it basically covers the shipping to England.
Beautiful. And if you need to know how to do that, find them on YouTube, and then there's a little join button.
Somewhere.
Right?
Yep. Somewhere on there.
Absolutely.
Another thought I came up about the tiredness of the England players. Do you think, because Declan Rice, not necessarily tired, but he looked tired. Do you think that maybe it was a mentality thing in that normally, obviously, in a regular game of football, there's that okay, they had the ball. Let's defend. Now we've got the ball. Let's attack. Like there's that switching. Whereas I think was it 20 minutes into the second half, the stat came up. I think Italy had like 75% of the possession at some point. It was. Do you think it was just almost like a mental beating of like we just taking this shit for so long? It's just you're physically but also mentally just beaten up right now. And
I think it was very much a mental thing as the game wore on. After Italy scores the tying goal, and you have all that time and all that mental pressure of we're expected to win this. We have to win this. Are we going to win this? It's in front of your fans. This is the biggest chance in 55 years, and I think that began to weigh down on, not like they were making mental mistakes, but there was almost an over urgency of their play.
Maybe you could sense like, with every minute, like it was like, okay, we're losing this.
Yeah,
we're fucking this up. Uh-oh.
I think, Mark, you had it nailed. Was it the week before, a few days before, when the match started? They're singing throughout the whole final. They're singing the whole song. So the match started, and they're singing "It's Coming Home," and they score the goal, and they're like, "It's coming home, it's coming home." And as the match progressed, in their heads it changed to, "They're gonna throw it away.
They're gonna blow it away." But I know they can play.
They're going, no. And it felt, the first half sort of felt like, let's win this. The second half started off and progressed like, let's not lose this. And that's not how you win a final.
Yeah, exactly.
Another stat, like Tom mentions it, where he says, I think the only save Donnarumma made was that header that was going over the bar anyway. I think throughout the
there was only one shot
120 minutes. I know.
Yeah.
I think they got the stats. They got credited for 2 shots on target. I think, but still, for an hour and 20 minutes. For 120 minutes, that's not good.
With the amount of fucking firepower that you have, and look at your one shot on target came from your left back. And it was a brilliant shot that could have been messed up in so many ways. But he hit it so perfectly, straight down into the ground, boom, boom, in this amount of space. Like, if Luke Shaw doesn't hit that perfect, do you lose that game 1-0?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it's more the pass than Luke Shaw's goal. That pass by Trippier was money.
But the finish...
I would go one.
That whole play was fantastic.
Yeah.
You're saying if we don't score that goal, do we lose 1-0? I think that early goal at least gave us inspiration for the next. I think if we didn't score that goal, I think we lose that game like 3-0. I don't think.
Really?
Maybe that's just my negative. Maybe that's because I'm depressed right now. Oh, it would have been 9-0. Who cares? Doesn't matter
That
anymore.
might be it.
But I think, ultimately, other than, like we're saying, like the Spain game, I think in that one-off opportunity, a one-off game, I think Spain were the better side in that one game. But I think it's fair to, I think we all agree, maybe, unless I'm wrong, that overall, I think the best team of the tournament won the tournament. I think they were definitely not the favourites 100%, but I think they performed the best throughout the whole tournament.
I mean, I think after the first game of the group stage, a lot of us from the stoop were thinking that Italy was going to get there. You know,
and then
they just look so damn good.
But they did look surprising in the round of 16 and even in the semis or the quarterfinals. No. I think the round of 6. I forget the match before Spain, and then the Spain game. I was like, they're definitely beatable, and that's why everyone thought 100% England was going to come through.
And that's how I felt about Italy when they lost to Spinazzola. You know, I felt that they looked completely different. Their attack was a little lethargic. They weren't getting that extra nifty pass, the little like kind of weaving of the offense. You know, but. Yeah.
If it makes you feel any better, though, I believe the last Euro championship, France lost in the final, correct? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then they just won the World Cup. So maybe, huh?
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
That's a mighty big maybe.
But it won't count really because it'll be like nobody's gonna be watching it because it's going to be during like football season.
I guarantee you, I will be watching.
I will
Oh
definitely
no,
watch
that'll be
it.
like
I don't know what the hours are gonna be like.
No Drew
because
Brees,
it's in
like-
Qatar, but it's like gonna be like we're probably gonna be watching soccer at 1:00 in the morning. Maybe I don't know. What is
So
the
it's-
time difference between here and East Coast and Qatar?
So East Coast Qatar is plus 8 hours. So I
Oh,
think it's
good lord! So if it's like a 5:00 game, it'd
So I
be
think it would-
8 hours
1 in the
back.
morning.
Yeah.
I imagine most of the games for us will be like 9 a.m. and 12 p.m.
Yeah, it'd be during
Yeah,
the
there'll
day.
be a lot of early morning games, but
That's not terrible.
no, it's not too bad. But I mean,
Excuse me, so you do one, we're
I've
supposed
been
to be
known
working.
I've been known to get up at 7 in the morning to watch the Wolves lose. So I can definitely definitely watch World Cup at at 6:00
But-
in the morning.
I actually have to say, back when in 2002, I believe it was 2002 World Cup. It was in
It was in
Japan?
France. No, I think was it 2000?
it was in Asia. It was in Tokyo,
I can't back that.
China, no, Korea.
It sounds somewhere over there.
All
I think it-
remember, I was
Yeah,
living
it was Korea, Japan. Sorry.
Yeah.
Korea and Japan. Ah, see, I got both of them.
Okay.
We
We'll
were-
make that a trivia question.
we were I was living in New Orleans at the time, and I was in college, so you'd get all your homework done as soon as possible, and you would try to sleep and get up at midnight and go to the bar, and the matches were at midnight and 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., something like that. And then I remember legging it to class at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, and drunk, of course. That's normal for New Orleans. But
Yeah,
that was
it's normal
what an
from college.
experience. I don't think I could do that again. I'm a little old for that now, but it did make it for something special because the people
That is
who were at
pretty
the
cool.
bar really wanted to watch football.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to do that anymore. The mind's
can't.
willing, but the body is not.
Like I'm on coffee here and it's only midnight.
Before we move on to more pleasant things, I guess, Tom jumped in. For perspective, though, this is the most successful England team in terms. I mean, yeah. So
Yeah.
I think I've seen a lot of people, obviously, with bad takes on social media, where they're just like trashing everything. But you have to put in perspective. One, again, when the tournament began, I had no belief that England would even make it out of the last 16, let alone reach the final. So that's awesome. They've reached the final. They went to penalties in the final. They've conceded 2 goals throughout the whole tournament. You can't complain. They did well. So
And they
hats off to
technically
them.
didn't lose a
They
match.
didn't lose the final.
There you go.
Or they didn't lose their match. Yes.
They didn't lose a match, technically. They lost the tournament.
Right. Which I would
That's
say is
all.
bigger than a match. But
That's all. They just lost the tournament.
But listen, 100%, Tom, absolutely right. And Mike, if you have any consolation, besides runner-up, second place, that's further than you guys have gotten in forever.
Yeah.
You should be a little happy about that. But you got to be thinking, this team is so much better than any England team in the past, and almost any, I would say, even though they lost this one, because they like each other.
Yeah.
I think in the past, there wasn't social media. These kids have grown up together, even being on different teams. They've been on Instagram and fucking Twitter and Facebook together their whole lives because they've been insulated in a world of you're the young stars, and like they're 12 years old getting picked up by clubs. All the 12-year-olds start to know each other, and that's why, Bukayo Saka and Jack Grealish are like best buds. In the past, those two would have only seen each other and met each other twice a year when they
Right.
play each other.
Exactly.
And they
Mason
wouldn't wanna
Mount and
talk to
Declan
each
Rice are the same way.
other, fucking Billy Gilmore and them giving each other COVID because they can't help but hang out. And
That's
so
how you know it's a
that-
real friend.
That is a huge,
Right.
huge difference, and they're all so young, so young. And as much as I hate him, Harry Kane, he's a good leader.
Fuck him.
And exactly, but
I can't say anything
Oh,
nice
no
about it.
love for Harry Kane. Come on.
and I'm a gunner, like fuck him, but he's a good leader, and he can help him, Jordan Henderson, even Sterling, who I don't like, but these older guys,
Grealish is an arsehole. But
Yeah, Grealish is a bitch, dude.
but
in an
they
English shirt,
can-
it's different.
they can help the younger guys grow as a team. And you know what? If for all the shit Gareth Southgate has gotten before the tournament and immediately after the tournament, people started to love him for a little bit. People started to really love him for a little bit. And so he's going to have that confidence. So I think 100% I believe England, it should be in the talk for winning the World Cup. As much as English people don't want to say that, I think right now if you're looking at World Cup, you got to look at Argentina, you got to look at Brazil, you got to
USA.
You got to
We won
look
the
at
Nations League.
which nation.
The CONCACAF Nations League, so it counts. Still a
like-
trophy.
That's like 3 nations, bro.
Yeah. The best of them, though.
The best.
We have Pulisic.
I didn't think
mean,
we were
of course,
qualifying for the World
France-
Cup.
It's still going on. Qualifiers are still going on. We will this time. But you got to look at Italy. I wouldn't even put Germany, France. No, France definitely. I wouldn't put Germany, Spain, Belgium. Those to me would be in the second tier of likely to win it. Up top, I've got Argentina, Brazil, France, Italy, and England. To me, those are the teams who are most likely to win it.
I think what England need is just a little bit more of that killer instinct, like we said. I think because they're ranked 4th in the world for a reason, but I think they're just. I think like every single game, other than the Ukraine game, they were just almost like the Floyd Mayweather of football in that they weren't gonna do a flashy knockout. They just did enough to get that win. Like they were just
1-0. 1-0.
yeah. And then
And they
4-0,
tried to
that's what-
sneak in 1-0 in the final when you scored in the second minute. Never gonna fucking happen. Never gonna fucking happen.
Maybe there's this. Are you familiar with the song Vindaloo? That was another. So there was always that we'll score one more. Maybe they just took that too seriously and we realized, oh, we've scored a goal. We can't score anymore. That's it.
That was Southgate's plan.
But before we move, your point about togetherness and everyone being friends, the best poster child for that idea or premise, Denmark, because after what happened, and they just gelled like a unit. They had no right to be in the semi-final of this tournament, but because they just gelled to get it, it just pushed them, and they worked together and got there.
Yeah.
The best team in the round of 16, by the way, I thought the 2 best teams in the round of 16, England, because you guys played Ukraine. No, you played Germany first.
Germany.
Yeah.
Very impressive win. But Denmark, 4-0 to Wales, to Gareth Bales.
They just neutralized them.
They played as such a solid team. I didn't see anybody beating them. I mean, it was going to be tough, whoever they played. And they played you guys, right? They played
They played the
England.
Czech Republic, and then
They beat the Czech Republic.
they beat the Czech Republic. Then they played England.
And then they played
Yeah.
England. And it was 1-1, 2-1.
2-1.
You
It
guys
is
got
two-
the penalty. The penalty that
The
shouldn't have
very
been a penalty.
sneaky penalty, yeah. Which,
The Sterling special.
yeah. Which I was happy. I think that was one of those that if the referee, because the referee gave it, so this is the problem with people say VAR, they should check it, blah, blah, blah. But obviously VAR is there just to find obvious errors, something like that. What's the wording? Clear and obvious error?
Clear and obvious.
Clear and obvious.
So I think because of the way, like, because technically there was contact, it was
That's what
nowhere
I've
near
been
to be enough to make that a penalty. But
Yeah.
because the referee gave the penalty, it wasn't a
Exactly.
clear and obvious, so you can't overturn it. However, if the referee didn't give that and they went to VAR, VAR is going to say no penalty, carry on. It's that's
Right. Yeah. I just, it was just it's
Mark
just
won't listen to
unfortunate.
me.
No. I've had
That's
time
exactly
to
what I've been saying.
I've had time to marinate on it, and I would say it. I would amend my comments by saying this: it's a penalty that shouldn't have been called. It should not have been called. I don't think there was enough there, and obviously the ref does not watch Raheem Sterling play because we all
'Cause he does that shit all the time.
we know that dive is coming. We know all those Premier League players are just going to just spill every time they get breathed on. It was just
No,
unfortunate.
no.
It was just unfortunate. Oh, come on, Jack Grealish.
Grealish especially.
Grealish is the worst,
You
He
can't
gets
mention one when I say not all of them. One does not make it all of them.
But it was
Dude,
unfortunate
we
to
all know
see a
Grealish.
really excellent tournament by Denmark be just kind of taken away by a single penalty, because that is what that team is kind of going to be remembered for. It's like, wow, they lost to England. They're not going to be remembered on how they got there and the adversity that they had to get
I
to.
don't think so. I
You
don't
know,
think so. I
and
disagree,
and
Mark.
I will
think
stand by
over-
the fact that I felt that Kasper Schulman should have been manager of the tournament just because of what he was able to do, and
Yeah.
to face those kind of odds and get to the semifinal when you had literally no business there.
And their-
no one
and their
had them.
Their performances in the 2 knockout rounds
They were
that they
just-
did win, and even the England, nobody had scored
Yeah.
against England.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just going to flash this up because Mike is correct. Most people don't know VAR is overturned. But I'm going to screen capture this and tag Arlo White because he thinks we don't know anything. But
No, it's there to confirm the call. That's what it's there for.
Arlo White.
It's there to make sure there wasn't
did-
a clear and obvious error.
He did call us 2 of the brightest football minds of our times, I believe. Although he was sarcastic, but when we screenshot it, it still looks like it was a compliment.
2 of the great football brains of our times. Don't read the rest; it's not important. But he called us. Talking about
Wow.
officiating.
Wait, so how do
Wait.
we just got to talk shit about him and he'll
No. So the important thing is you have to.
He
You
searches
don't even
his
have
name.
to tag him. You just write Arlo White in your in your tweet. He will find it. Like, that's the funniest because I remember we mentioned him because put in context, we was mentioning the whole. You know how every single game he finds a way to be like, oh yeah, so I was gonna buy a new sofa, but there's no room in my living room. Just like there's no room for racism in football. Like, he just keeps like we get it. But then we made a thing who are you talking to? Like, is there someone who's about to be racist? But Arlo White says there's no room for racism. In
You
the
know what,
Premier League?
guys? Let's chill it. Cancel the
That-
Klan rally. Arlo White
Cancel
said not
it.
to.
But what am I going to do with all this racism?
Yeah. Oh, I've already
Move
cut the
the
holes
couch,
in
Arlo.
my hood now. Oh.
Move the couch.
But so we mentioned that, and I mentioned him in a tweet. Didn't tag him, just mentioned his name. So in the morning, he must have just went onto Twitter, searched his name, found the tweet, watched enough of the podcast to
very
find us
specific
making
what
fun.
he referenced.
Like, he went into it, and then he went nuts. There's more to that. There's a thread of it. He was not happy.
Then he argued with Mike for a day on Twitter.
He just,
That's
He's got an
Just kept
army
going
of
back and
people
forth.
that just search Twitter. It's like,
That's
Arlo,
awesome.
we found something here.
Yeah, I've been trolling Patty Bamford, but he won't get back to me.
Just use
He's on
Arlo.
he's on a boat in the Caribbean. Well, no, I guess not the Caribbean right now, but he's on a boat somewhere.
He needs to be careful. He's a little pasty.
Oh, he's
Lord Bamford.
slathering. He's been taking cues from Adama
What the
Traore.
hell?
He's just slathering the sunscreen on.
What the hell were we talking about? I felt like I had something to yell at you for, Mark.
Pick a subject.
We got plenty of time next season.
but before we wrap up, but other
Wrap
than
up. I thought we were still doing the intro.
yeah.
What have we talked about?
Not
but
much.
Other than that shady call against Denmark and maybe the red card that Michael Oliver gave, which was like shit. But other than that, I think, what about the officiating? I think the officiating was a highlight of the tournament.
It was consistent. You know,
Mike
it
Dean
did
was.
get a little more ticky-tacky as the tournament went on, but during the group stage, I loved it because the refs just let them play.
Yeah, there was that the penalty decision, which was iffy, but we're not on the pitch. The ref was close enough making those calls, whatever. The one that kills me is how the hell Jorginho stayed on the pitch after coming in with his studs up, barely touching the ball and going full boot into Jack Grealish's thigh. Now, I know a lot of Premier League fans who are not Aston Villa fans were like, well done. But
I never root for an injury, but it was kind of like,
I mean, he wasn't injured.
oh no.
He wasn't
But
injured, but
he
he
was
got
Well, you thought
fine.
he died. I thought he died for a second.
Yeah,
But
He cried like a hungry baby for about 5 minutes.
To me, knowing that it's going to penalties, and Jorginho is one of the best penalty takers around because he does his little fucking crow bird on a wire jump, hop, and I'm so happy he missed, but he shouldn't have been on the pitch, and they should have played the last 2-3 minutes, 10 minutes. Wouldn't have made a difference for England, I don't think.
Right.
But
still,
what commentary did you get? Because obviously you was watching it in Spain.
we were in Spain, so they all thought it. They were all saying like, "How is this not?"
Ah, so the guys on ESPN, because they went to Mark Clattenburg, referee special, and he was like saying, "Oh no, what happened was that he got the ball, but his foot ricocheted off the ball onto the thigh." I was like, "Yeah, I see what you're saying,
I
but
heard that.
but it was still studs up on
His
the ball."
foot came to the ball this way.
Yeah,
that's
no one.
studs
That's not how
up.
you naturally kick a ball.
That studs up, and the red card in the Spain game, I believe, was because his back leg, his follow through came in, and happened to be slightly studs up. He got
that
the
also
ball
injured the
and
dude too, though, didn't
And
it?
his back.
Oh, was that
leg,
where the knee
Yeah.
went?
just because Jack Grealish
Yeah.
has fucking tree trunk legs, it's not a red card because he didn't get injured? Fuck that.
That was kind of how Antonio was treated the entire Premier League season, though. It was like, well, he's just a giant with big legs, so like, you
He'll
should
be
be able to
fine.
handle
He's
that.
fine. He's fine. But to me, it was like that was reckless, and it endangered him. And there's an
It's Jack
entire
Grealish, so, like-
blueprint. Yeah, and that was it.
I also thought the
It's like the boy cried
The
wolf. They're
shirt
like, you know what? No, you don't get the call.
The
I don't know, maybe
double-handed
not-
shirt pull.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think,
the horse collar on
horse collar?
Saka.
like
Yeah.
maybe because that's one of those
Not a great
challenges
look.
where you're like, is it enough for a red? But then
It's
he
never
needs
gonna be
more than a
given as
yellow,
red.
like because that was just it wasn't even. He knew what he was doing. I thought that was a dirty play.
That's
I-
where, like, if you slide in for the ball and the last man is running and you just miss the ball and you barely touch their foot and they fall, red card because he's the last man and you were the last defender, red card. Totally unintentional. But
Right.
this, where he grabs him, doesn't get enough, so he uses his other hand and pulls at his neck of a 19-year-old, 36-year-old, 19. That to me, it's never going to be a red card. But
Well,
that
I'm
to
sure
me
the ref
is
just
the
saw it as like a
intention.
dad grabbing his kid. Get back here.
But to me, that's malicious intent. Yes, you're not
Yeah.
really trying to hurt him, but you are trying to throw him to the ground by his neck.
It's definitely unsportsmanlike.
Absolutely.
It's very unsportsmanlike. So, but listen, it's never going to be. It's like in football when someone has dreads and you're allowed to grab their hair.
part of the
because
jersey.
It's part of the
It's
jersey.
part of the jersey.
Because you
Yeah.
could tie it up.
So could he have done that to like a Leeds United player with a top knot? You know, like, what if he grabbed him by the top knot?
If that was a rule in football, everyone who played against like Gareth Bale would be like,
right away. Like
Or
I'm
Luke
getting
Ayling,
yeah.
for that matter, you
Luke
know.
Ayling. Well, people kind of like Luke Ayling more than Gareth Bale. But
I do appreciate about like the English though, like just the like hatred for literally anybody in any position of like power at all. It's like fuck you, Gareth Bale, and then like you could tell like you were saying they're like they kind of started to like him. Like no, we don't fucking like him. You just better not fuck it up, dude. It's better. And they're like, okay, well, we're gonna shut up for a couple days because all right, you got us in the final, and then it's all your fucking fault. Fuck you, Gareth Bale. Like then it's all back on
Southgate.
again. But
not,
it's just
not Bale, Southgate.
Yeah, Gareth Southgate. My bad. My bad.
We still hate
Same
Bale.
name, same
I
first
was wondering
hate
where he was
Bale.
going with that one.
We still hate Bale.
Couldn't get it out of my head, but yeah.
Stupid top knot.
Listen, Mr. Tom just put up a comment here, and me as an Arsenal fan, I think I have to address this.
Well, for our tens of audio listeners, I have to read this out. I know I will be an unpopular take, is that the penalty miss and aftermath has disguised the fact that Saka was fucking awful during the match itself. Take it away, Lolo.
Big Saka fan. I think Saka is the future of Arsenal if we can keep him, and we may, because our Saka epitomizes what we wish a lot of footballers were. He has a love of the game. He has a love of life. He makes everyone smile. If you read anything about any player that mentions him, talks about how funny he is without even trying, how nice he is, how sweet he is, and how professional he is. So, Saka, love you. I hope you stay with Arsenal for your entire career. That being said, when Grealish was coming on, I was sort of like, go ahead and take Saka off. Saka was not having a good game, and part of the reason was they brought Saka on for... Who did they bring him on for?
Was it
Mount?
It wasn't Mount. They
Was it
brought
Trippier?
Grealish on for Mount. I think
Was it
Trippier?
Trippier? I think it was
Yeah.
Trippier.
So they brought him on
No,
for
Henderson
Trippier.
came on. No, never mind.
No. Henderson was for
Came on for
Rice.
Rice,
Yeah,
yeah.
for Trippier. And they put him in a right back position of a back five. So they're telling him, go ahead and go forward a little bit, but you're still responsible for Chiellini and whoever the hell else was on that side. So you saw Saka. He was trying to play defense.
Yeah, not his
His
strong
whole
suit.
focus was defense, which, yes, at Arsenal, we've put him there, but that's because we have no other fucking left back or right back at the time, and we needed to. This is, why bring him on? So why would you bring him on unless you were going to reposition your whole back line, move Shaw over to the other side. Now you have Shaw and Walker flying up the edges. You have John Stones and Slabhead in the middle. Let them play, and let Saka play forward. Go to his strengths. When he was good in the tournament was because he was forward and he was making things happen. And him and Grealish were allowed to like mix and mingle and go in different spots. I saw him. He looked lost, and he looked like he wanted to go forward, but
certainly unsure.
and so I agree. He was not good. But I don't put that all on him. I once again put that on Southgate, because you could see he was playing right back, and it was like, why? Put Jordan Henderson there.
But I do think the next couple of weeks in his life with whoever he has around him is going to be pivotal for his career.
Yes.
So I think how he handles not only that game, but obviously the penalty miss and things like that. Because there are other people that miss penalties, but obviously the fact that he missed the penalty that ended the game is going to play over and over and over.
Now, to
But
me,
how
Rashford's
that-
was bigger.
Right,
Rashford's was
I
bigger
agree.
because it was that first, and he missed it completely. It wasn't
Yeah.
saved.
Yeah, but I think depending on how the people around him help him handle this situation, I think it's going to come out either it's obviously going to be a huge character builder, and I think he could be that guy who's going to be in the England team for the next 15 years, or and I hope this doesn't happen. But this could be one of those things that fucks you up, and he could be on the downside, and he could, you know what I mean. So I hope the people around him. I'm assuming he's going to take a break before he goes back to Arsenal. I don't, but I hope he's around good people. Because 19 years old, Jesus Christ, I wouldn't be able to handle that.
He will be.
19 years old.
I think he'll be fine. I also think it will, the maybe a little bit might play if whether or not he makes the World Cup team. I don't know. Is it automatically? Is it the same team?
They still have to select him.
Okay, so I think that
There's not a chance in hell, though.
if I'm just saying if they don't, that might be where it kind of will get into his head. Oh man, I'm not being selected because I blew it, and that could kind of build that bit of cloud over his head. But I the thing is that he is 19 years old, and it can be easily forgotten at that age. If and it seems like Arsenal is a good enough of an organization to where there's a bit of support around him. I'm sure teammates. I'm sure Lacazette probably gave him a little text and
everybody.
I'm sure
teammates.
Everybody. Gunnar Soros is trying to make a
maybe Gunnar
text.
Soros.
It's because his arms are so short he can't text.
That's a good point.
Very good point. And he can't afford it.
I thought he got his job back. Did he not get his job back?
Did he? Probably at cut rate.
Well, now that Ozil's not paying his salary.
Yeah, maybe so. Ozil, I was actually on a lot more than that, Ozil. Thank you.
Anyway.
Was you going to make a point? Did I ruin your train of thought?
No.
No, Mark does, always. That's what he's on the show for.
That's what I do. I'm just like...
He keeps me off the rails, which is good.
Last thing I want to talk about the Euros, which I think is a redonkulous point. I heard that for the first time the other day. Redonkulous. Is that a thing? Is that what the
It's definitely a thing in Brooklyn.
Okay.
It's an old thing. It's about probably 15 years old. 20.
Well, that's there I am with my...
Apparently it still plays.
It still works.
It does. So UEFA announced that Donnarumma was the player of the tournament. Don't get me wrong, he played very well, but I wouldn't even put him in my top 10 almost.
Listen, you make.
I'd put him in top 10 for sure.
But the player,
you make what, 2 saves in a penalty shootout in the semis, 2 saves in a penalty shootout in the finals. Yeah, I mean...
It's pretty clutch.
It's clutch. It's hard. I think what we were discussing on our show was it's hard to choose any... Like, who else do you choose? Who else had the best tournament? And I think we came up with, like, Damsgaard, somebody who probably shouldn't have seen but 10 minutes because he was playing behind Christian Eriksen. Only if they were up by 4 would Christian Eriksen come off and Damsgaard would go on. So, and he had an incredible tournament.
Tom says history tends to remember the winner, but I don't even think he was Italy's best player of the tournament.
I said Chiellini. Like Chiesa. if we're gonna pick a winner,
I was gonna say Chiesa.
Chiesa for me was the best player on Italy.
But
then again, before injury, Spinazzola was. I thought he was maybe their best player.
I just think you could
argue there was 3, maybe 4 players ahead of Donnarumma who played better.
But it is like what y'all were saying earlier. It's just like, who else are you gonna give it to at that point? Where like you see it in like Tom Brady won the MVP of the Super Bowl this past year. He didn't exactly play better than everybody else did, but it was like, we didn't really have like anybody that stood out. Let's give it to the quarterback. Let's give it to the guy that made the 2 saves at the end. Like that was just. Yeah. I think sometimes that's the logic, and that's what goes into it.
It's like the center, whoever the center was, got Tom Brady the ball 100% of the time.
Yeah. Leonard Fournette scored a lot of his points. You know, the defense made some clutch turnovers, but you can't hand it to a defense. You see that in hockey all the time, too. Vasilevsky for the Lightning. I mean, he earned that, but a lot of times you're like, just give it to the keeper.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right, Mr. Tom. I agree. Not the best advert for their product. But yeah, it's hard to say. Like if I could give it to a duo, I think Calvin Phillips,
You have to
Declan
chop
Rice.
it in half.
The partnership of Calvin Phillips and Declan Rice, West Ham has to be like bending over backwards to try and find a way to buy Calvin Phillips, because the way they played together, I didn't think it was going to work because they're very similar. But they were bouncing back and forth and doing each other's jobs in such a good way. And all of a sudden, boom, there goes Declan Rice, and here comes Calvin Phillips back to cover him, to cover his spot. And there's so many stats that aren't stats of like, oh, that pass didn't go to that guy. Why? Because Calvin Phillips is standing right there in the right spot. Oh, why didn't that pass go this way? Oh, Declan Rice is standing right where he should be. So the pass doesn't even go there. So he doesn't get a steal. He doesn't get a block, a tackle, anything. And so just the intelligence of those guys. And Souček, no.
We do have Souček. Whoa.
I know.
Whoa. Do not watch what you say about our Czech king.
No. I think Souček is fantastic. And I think you guys are going to be like, West Ham has been scouting the Czech Republic's team.
I've said for like
we're gonna
2
sign
years.
him.
I was like, just sign the entire Czech team. I don't care. I don't. Alexander Kral, bring him over.
So
With
Yeah,
shit,
it's going
bring
to
him
get
over.
Chick.
But just imagine
Do it.
Declan Rice and Calvin Phillips, and then you have Souček right in front of them, and allow him to get forward even more. Allow them to play this. I don't know. It could be.
That
It's
was
not
an
gonna
observation I made. Like, I'm not saying this was what.
That'd
they
be
were
cool
thinking
if
of when
our
they did it.
organization wanted to spend money too.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Souček is fantastic.
But it did
And
seem
Sufal.
like
And Sufal as
Declan
well.
Rice and Phillips, because they, like I said, they are very similar player, where it was almost like they were taking it in turns to, okay, I'll be Rice, you be Souček. Now I'm going to be Souček, you be... They were back and forth. It was pretty cool to see. But yeah, I think they, as
And
a
that's
duo,
the
they
problem
work
in the
very well.
second half of the final is Gareth Southgate.
You both be
said-
Rice, both stay
Both
back.
be Rice, yeah.
Yeah.
Why? And then they were like on top of each other.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
But no, I think Souček, Sufal.
Right, sorry, before James Fever, I'm going to have to disagree with you when you say Souček is top class. He walks into a lot of teams. Souček doesn't walk, he runs and then dives head first
There you go.
Guys, head
into them. He doesn't care.
Yeah. Yeah. But I don't know. Look, talking about West Ham and the future, I think you guys are in a very, very good position right now. What happened to that
Do you?
stupid
Why?
Man United guy that you guys have? Did he get pulled back?
I think
Jesse
so.
Lingard?
I don't think they're going to get. I don't think he's going
He's
back.
gone. Either way, I think you guys.
Josie Lengid? Something I can't remember his name. It doesn't matter.
I think you guys are actually.
I would definitely, if I was a West Ham fan, I would definitely remember the guy's name. He did a lot for you.
No,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
he did.
wait till his name's on a contract before I remember his name.
Fair enough. And unfortunately, I don't. From what I'm reading, it doesn't sound like Lingard is going to.
I said that as soon as he scored like goals in back-to-back games, his first and second game, I was like, he's not staying at West Ham. Man United's going to bring him back and not play him, or like
Nope.
loan him out to Roma or
I
something.
don't understand
like
why
that.
they would do it, because this is his last year of his contract. So if they upset him this year, he's just going to leave
They're
for
gonna
free
get,
the
yeah,
year
they're gonna
after.
get nothing.
They're just
Yeah.
dickheads.
And like
That's
I said,
the
I
one
said
thing we have on
before,
our side, but
They
nothing
go
ever
and
goes well for
sign
West Ham.
Jadon Sancho. They go and sign Jadon Sancho, someone who plays the exact same role as him. Doesn't he? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
We
Oh, I have
only
to-
say what we feel. We don't actually research.
We don't
It's all
know.
about the feels.
We don't know.
But I was saying that weeks and weeks ago that the problem with Man United and Lingard is that now Lingard has proved. I mean, don't get me wrong, another year is another year, but Lingard has proved that he can pretty much sit on his ass for a year and still be a very good player. So now, with 1 year left in his contract, I think the lower teams are going to be, hey, fuck it, we'll just wait a year. We'll get him for free.
Yeah.
Like, Man United are going to waste. They should sell.
Or broke ass Real
Get
Madrid
money.
and Barcelona. You think he wouldn't go there for free?
Indeed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I
And
probably
they're
would.
still buying people. I don't know how they're fucking buying people. They got no money.
Yeah, it
Okay.
doesn't make sense.
Is it Griezmann's apparently supposed to be going out on loan? I saw that.
He's
Rumor has
shit.
it.
He's
There
good.
you go.
Him and Pogba, they're fantastic for France.
But for their
Can't do
clubs,
shit
they're
for their
terrible.
clubs.
Areola.
You guys got Areola.
Well, apparently that's the
Great
rumor.
name.
It's a great name.
Fantastic name. It's
Always going to think of a nipple every time he gets the ball.
Hmm.
it's Areola on the tip of the box.
I didn't see that was official or anything, but
No,
I
it's-
did see that it was. It
That's
was
the problem
rumored for
with transfer
sure.
windows and West Ham. I don't get hyped until I see that really awkward picture of them in the medical, and then them trying to awkwardly pronounce, "Come on, you irons." Until I see those
Yeah.
cringy videos,
Come
I don't
on,
believe
you
anything.
It's like everybody who scored a goal, like moments later on Twitter, Arsenal are linked with so and so. I'm like,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
they aren't. Just because you call them and they don't answer doesn't mean we're in
Exactly.
talks. You talk to them.
No, but that's a fun
voicemail.
reporting method because then you can go like viral on Twitter. You just get your tweet picked up and you're just like, it's not true. I'll just send it. Just send it out and see if it gets picked up. And it's like, oh, yeah, there's a material change. You're right.
that's
And
what, as soon
seriously,
as,
like- Arsenal's
Chicks.
out there like they're addicted to 99-cent a minute phone calls.
It's like, meanwhile, why don't you come up with a plan for who you do have? Because we played an entire season without a formation, with a different formation every week,
Different
and then we go out and say,
personnel.
oh, you know what? Our number one signing is Nuno Tavares, who plays left back because Kieran Tierney needs some competition. Kieran Tierney's our best fucking player. What? And they're like, we're going to move him to a left-sided center back when his best, crossing the ball and attacking and running back and forth is what he does best. What? I'm having a hard time with Arsenal already, and the season we just lost to Hibernian. In the
We lost
Scottish
to
League. Like not even the best
Dundee
team in the Scottish
The other
League.
day.
And we
Well,
had
played-
like a lot of real players playing too.
So what is this? Just like warm up friendlies, or
yeah, preseason.
I have no
There you
idea.
go.
No, it's called dick around friendlies or something.
West Ham played Northampton today, I think. I don't even know if we
I think they won.
Go Irons.
I think they won. So just like we thought.
That's it.
Just like we
Just might as
thought.
well hand us the Europa League title now. It's over.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. Europa League scares the shit out of me this year with West Ham, and like the
And
fact
it
that we
should.
haven't really signed anyone else. It's like I don't think we should go in with that same squad. Just like let's add a couple guys, maybe. I don't know.
But at least we have
depth,
Felipe
man.
Anderson coming back to add depth. Oh no, he's gone. Oh great, fantastic.
It's a depth thing. Once you're in
That's
Europe,
why I feel
it's a
like they
depth
got to
thing.
spend big for Lingard. I mean, I don't know if Man U is going to give him up, but it's like I think like West Ham loves to sign a guy that they just they had on loan, so then they can take 2 pictures with him, show it again, and it's like that would be the perfect like that's it, we got it, we're ready for Europa. It's like, but we didn't really add anybody else. Like that would be the most West Ham thing to do is just bring in Lingard. We're gonna have no extra depth. We're gonna get fucked playing multiple games a week, and then it's gonna hurt us in the Premier League.
Oh, I'm waiting for the huge Craig Dawson video.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna happen. We have officially signed Craig Dawson. Sexy video.
Craig
Him
Dawson.
dancing.
That might be
or
it.
something.
Fuck, you're right.
That's
Doesn't
our transfer
Dawson
window.
score just about every match on one goal or the other?
On corners.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, on
One
corners.
way or the
or
other, he's
on
getting in
us.
the net.
I think he had as many own goals as goals. Didn't he?
But there was a
Isn't that
period
the
of
guy?
like, it was like 3 out of 4 weeks he had a header on a corner, and we
know,
thought he
I
was
s-
God for a second.
I
so that was pretty
started-
sick.
I started putting him in my weekly fantasy because he was cheap as all hell. And
Yeah, I would just bet him to score every time,
Yeah.
and that was pretty cool for a
Speaking
little
of
month,
which,
like a
guys-
month stretch.
guys, we've got a Premier League fantasy league that we started. It's for Stoop Crew members only, but it's for Stoop Crew members and friends of the Stoop. So I'll send you guys the link, and if you guys want to join in, it's all year long. You pick your team. It's the actual Premier League website's one. So
Okay.
we're gonna do that, and there'll be prizes all season, maybe, if if I can get Mark to ship them out.
First
we
place
still got-
gets 20%
If
off
we
a
can
cap.
just find out who they are.
First place gets 17% off of a hat.
There you
Yeah,
go.
let's not be giving these things away, Mike.
Relax, Mike.
Don't get crazy.
And a sticker. But it's going to be a lot of fun, and we'll check in with it every week as well. We're actually going to do probably, before I make official announcements, we're thinking about maybe even doing one show a week that is just looking in at the fantasy, which could be a lot of fun. But we've already got 15 people in the league signed up.
Nice.
So
Nice.
and I think it can be as many as we want. So but that's something as well where influencing people to join up and become a Stoop Crew member, and you can be part of the league as well. So, but I'll send you guys the link, and you guys can join in.
I'm down. Let's do that.
So if you want to join that, just search on Twitter, find Dat Goon Lolo or nothing_sucker, Lolo and Mark on socials. I'm sure you'll get all the information there, but obviously find them there. YouTube channel, just hit the join button, join the Stoop Crew on
For less
there.
than half a beer a month, you too can support these two clowns. It's like $3 or something. It's
Yeah,
not-
that way it keeps the internet going.
There you go.
we can keep putting coins in our internet box.
Keep Lolo going to Spain once a year.
Oh, my wife does that for me.
Good old her.
She's sleeping.
Hopefully.
She's like, you walk in there, she's like, I heard everything.
I heard all of it.
She's probably watching as well. I think she
I didn't
is
know you
Mr.
made
Tom
$3 a month
sometimes.
off your YouTube thing. You didn't
Where
tell me
did-
that.
Where'd you get these hats from? Mark bought them, I swear.
Mark knitted them.
Tell me her name.
But yeah. But anyway, yeah, lots of good stuff going. And are you guys going through? So when football season starts up, what do you guys do? Like, how do you?
We're not talking
Half
to
and
each other.
half.
We're not
Half
talking
and
to
half.
each other for 3 weeks.
Okay.
This is the season finale.
Oh, wait. I mean, it's
That's
like
what
2
we're
weeks, isn't it?
'Cause the
3
season
weeks.
starts soon.
Yeah, I think.
Okay,
I mean,
3.
the Hall of Fame game is end of July.
I think
In a
so.
couple of weeks, or like
Yeah,
2
2
weeks
weeks till
after the
training
Halloween.
camps.
So that's
2 weeks till
you know,
training camp.
Yeah, I think we're gonna come. So we're gonna come back August 10th. Is gonna be our first episode back, because then we can preview the West Ham Newcastle game, and then Giants are playing the Jets in the preseason. So we'll actually have Giants, because I don't think we've mentioned the Giants for about 4 months.
Yeah, not
So-
in extent, not to like a big extent or anything like that.
Yeah, and then the first match of the season, where Arsenal loses to Brentford on the 13th of August. We'll have to cover that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say, like, when as
How
soon
did
as
we
I
get
saw
the first match of the season? How? Like, why?
Didn't you have the
Why?
first match of the
Yes.
season last year?
Yes.
Guess everybody they see Arsenal.
They do.
They want to
Big
see the
name.
boss.
Big draw.
They want to see the boss Dracula and how meticulously black his hair is.
Against Brentford? Like, why do they need to shame us this way?
it's the hot ticket.
They think they're throwing us a bone. They're really, like, fucking laughing at us.
It's
going,
just 'cause they can disguise it as that.
Here you go, beat these guys.
You said bone.
Oh, God.
Well, I'm not looking forward to it either, because I'm
Tom's a
pretty sure
packet.
last season West Ham's first game was against Newcastle and we lost. So they thought, let's do that again.
Yeah. You guys got they got a
Redemption.
clean sheet against you.
Yeah.
We won our first match, and we were first place. I mean, we start every season first place.
I think every team starts every season
No,
first
no.
place
Arsenal
before the
does.
whistle is blown.
Alphabetically.
Oh yes,
That's
I
true.
suppose.
That's
Unless AFC Wimbledon
Mhm.
is up.
Right,
Or
right.
Accrington Stanley.
Okay.
That's why I
There's a
always
few.
loved it when Wolves would get promoted back to the Premier League, because then at the beginning of the
You
season,
weren't
alphabetically, like West Ham are at the bottom.
Oh yeah.
One spot out of relegation.
It's fantastic, man. Absolutely fantastic.
Well, hopefully we get on with you guys more, get you guys on the show. You guys still, I'm telling you, you got to come for a happy hour one time
I
when
will.
Mark
I
and I
need
are
to-
actually
Yeah.
drinking.
I'm gonna liaise with my my PA, who handles my calendar, which is
Fancy.
the wife. But see if I can
Does she
get out of
know
the way
you call
on
her
a Friday night.
the PA?
We don't tell her that.
She doesn't
My
watch the
wife
show.
would kill
It's
me.
fine. But yeah, we'll definitely come on there at some point in the next couple of weeks, guaranteed.
Awesome. man.
Especially
All right, cool.
since
We'll look forward to seeing you.
absolutely. But so quick plugs then. If you are watching this live or on demand, don't forget you can listen to the audio version, which I'm sure is going to be a complete mess this week. But fuck it, that'll just inspire you more to watch the video version. But if you can watch us every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 o'clock Central, returning August 10th. If you are watching this, you want to listen to us instead, Spotify, all the places you put the podcast. If you want to watch these guys, so I mean, your schedule has been a mess recently because you've been going live for
we've
the
been
last
doing the
57
Euros.
days.
Yeah.
So when do people expect your regular shows? So you have the
So-
happy hour on Fridays, and then
Exactly.
Tell 'em.
So during the season, the way we do it is, generally speaking, we will do a preview where we do a weekend watch list, which is we pick the 3 matches that we feel neutral fans should watch. The important matches that week, 3 of them. So Mark picks one, I pick one, and then our fans, we put a poll out during the week. And they choose the 3rd one, and we discuss why those are important to watch. We can't pick our own teams, first
Okay.
of all, and we tell them not to pick Leeds United, but our fans are
You
kind
know,
of crazy about Leeds
they're not going to
United.
listen to us.
For some Arsenal fan, Wolves fan, I don't know. But, and so those come out on Thursday, and then Friday we do a live happy hour at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, which is midnight in the UK. We do 2 hours of that, and then a special Stoop Crew only extra hour, bonus hour, where we allow the Stoop Crew to call in and get to talk to us personally, and that's private, does not ever go out anywhere else unless you're a Stoop
nice.
Crew member. And then Saturday, Sunday, whenever those matches are that were in our preview, we do post matches of those 3 matches. So it's still a little up in the air on the weekends, but Thursday and Friday are pretty much set. And then we'll have to find a day where we add in our Premier League show and figure out what else we're doing this year.
The
But
world
that's-
is our
that's the
oyster. We
basic.
just haven't quite figured it out yet. But we got some great things in store in the next season. We're really excited about it.
But if you're, if you're
shout out
tired
to Mr.
of
Tom, by the way, who's been joining us
Mr.
the whole
Tom,
show.
thank you so
very
much.
much.
But if you're tired of structured analysis with people who actually research and have a team of researchers or actually used to play football, and you're tired of all that and you're ready for a little bit of nonsense with your football where it feels like you're at the bar just talking to your homies, check out On the Stoop with Lolo and
That's
Mark.
it.
We may have to add that on there, Mark. You've done...
That would be
More shows than
fantastic.
me
But,
now.
you know,
It's got to find room on the hat.
like, there's a whole new logo. Why fuck with it, man? Let's just keep it. You know? Let's just...
The next round of hats, you can change the logo.
Right.
And if you are wishing to continue to listen to us too, obviously, still every week while we're on the break, Alex, you got new episodes of Past the Gravy every Wednesday.
Yeah, we're talking about Jamie Lee Curtis's boobs. I didn't know she went topless in any movies until this past weekend, and I'm going to talk about that revelation
And they're awesome.
tomorrow.
Yes, they are
yeah,
pretty awesome.
yeah. I just felt like, how did I not know about this?
And you know what? I bet they still are. She's like 70 now, but I bet they're still great.
Yeah. Shout out
Well-
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Alex, I enjoy that podcast as well. If you ever want us to talk, we are good at talking nonsense about any sort of topic.
Boobs.
So if you ever
Okay.
you ever need some guests on that, we're around.
We can definitely work that out. Yeah, we can definitely work that out. I also do Pass the Gravy tomorrow coming out, and then Pass the Gravy Bro coming out tomorrow night. After Bro on CS, we recap that and tell you what we've seen on the live feeds, compare it to that. So lots of content still while Claire at Big Blue is off for the next couple weeks.
Awesome, man.
And I have new episodes of Waffle Box coming out, which is available everywhere you listen to podcasts, including Amazon Music and Audible, just because when I was chatting to Lolo the other day, or last week, I was like, where do you listen to podcasts? And he was like, "Oh, Amazon Music and Audible." I was like, "What the fuck? Why don't you listen to podcasts like a normal person on Spotify?" Or but
I'm old.
So I had to go and add them to Amazon just for him. And I bet he hasn't even listened to an episode yet, has he? Motherfucker.
No, I'm sorry.
The 30 seconds of trouble I went through for that.
No, actually, we watch so much football, and we discuss football so much, and the text chains and shit like that. Anything I watch for fun is like Ancient Aliens, like X-Men. Like it's something that is so far from football. Just because I just can't anymore.
And I'm just watching shows about food.
Yeah, food is always good.
Those are always solid.
But if you do want to check out Waffle Box, new episode tomorrow, we're going to talk about the $1 million Mario game and people getting electrocuted by a lightning strike while taking selfies. It's caught my eye.
See,
That must be a very, very long selfie stick.
But that's right up my alley. I'll check that out as well. I will check that out as long as it's not about football.
WaffleboxPod.com. There's no football. I'm
God, I
done
hate
with football.
football.
That's the beautiful thing. The guy I do the show with, he doesn't know anything about football, and it's like that works with me.
Perfect. That's how
Especially
I started.
It's kind of a winning combination.
Mr. Tom, that sounds right up your alley as well.
Ever watched Mystery Diners? Haha.
I'll have to check that out. That sounds... I don't know where the mystery lies. Is it mystery live with the food, or the mystery is the diner?
I don't know.
That's we don't know. Maybe it's both.
Maybe it's both.
Maybe that
We
is
just
the
don't-
mystery.
That is the mystery. We just don't know, you know?
But this does have me all thinking, is there some sort of, chopped ancient alien sort of crossover thing that could happen?
Aliens version of Chopped.
Yeah, like
Right.
we found these products in this red liquid in a coffin.
Like, I don't know how to cook that. Like, figure it out, dude. You got 5 minutes. Go.
The thing about the red liquid that came out of the sarcophagus is you gotta boil it first.
And you pureed it. That was a little too much. It's bitter. It's bitter. So I'm gonna have to
You
chop
put a
it.
little too much saffron in it. It's not gonna be Anyway.
That's a great way to end the show.
Yeah, I think so.
Just before we have dinner.
Yeah. Why everyone felt happy after he won the Euro, England? Oh, that's a great question, but it's an hour and 20 in. That's going to be another. That's a long. That's a long. Which is England football image, including fans, become dirty? Well, to be fair, short answer is English football fans have had a bad image for about 30 years, so it's nothing new.
Yeah.
Fair
So
enough.
rinse and
And
repeat.
can I give a short answer as well?
Yep.
Every country has people, and in every group of people, a lot of them suck. But it's not all of them, and it's not everyone.
Facts.
Perfect.
Just love each
Couldn't
other.
have said it better.
Everyone love everyone, as Will Ferrell used to say.
Yeah. And anytime you want to be racist, just go check out Jamie Lee Curtis's tits. And
Right?
I'm sure all the racist thoughts will just
Or
go
True
away.
Lies. You see her ass. It's like a
Dude.
little bit of everything.
When she does that Robert
For
Palmer
little strip
type
for
look.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck am I watching? What is this? And then I felt like I was reborn this weekend.
Exactly.
Or if you ever feel like being racist, just listen to Arlo White do commentary. He'll talk you out of it.
He'll convince you not to be.
Because there's no room for racism.
I was gonna rent the DVD of True Lies as they told me, but I don't have space on my shelf, and there's also no room for racism on my shelf. Have to clear out some DVDs. Anyway, guys, I think we've ended the show 20 times now.
Yeah, we are. So yes, don't forget, if you are watching this still, check out tomorrow, waffleboxpod.com. Pass the Gravy podcast due tomorrow. If you are watching or listening to this and you aren't already a member of the Stoop crew, go find out on the Stoop with Lolo on YouTube and hit that join button. Mr. Tom, everyone hates England because we invaded about 171 out of 180 countries.
And
Probably
that's a solid reason.
follows that with True Lies is amazing.
And then he's quoting random
Next time,
True Lies.
You can be in the van. Or maybe
Next
that was
time
something.
you can be in the van. No, wait,
No, we
it's
can't.
actually
That was a hell of
Tom
like
Arnold.
No, but I liked it in the Arnold voice better.
Next time, you can be in the van.
Those all three comments in the space of like 30 seconds. That's got to be an amazing.
That's Tom.
Yeah.
He's feeling better.
He's feeling
Mr.
better.
Tom.
Exactly.
Pleasure.
Exactly. I'm
Glad you're
really
feeling
glad
better.
to see you, Mr. Tom. I'm glad you're feeling better for sure.
But yeah, Lolo, Mark, thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
It's been an absolute
Our
pleasure.
pleasure, man. It's been fun.
Hit that join button. Find them on the stoop. Hit that join
Good
button.
night.
Get the cap. Thanks very much. See you on August 10th in 3 weeks. Peace.